Hello, everyone. This is Jorge with Avalos Cloud Native and Nexus Technologies, where Nexus means peering, means connecting, means connection, means from the Latin of working together. That's what a Nexus is. So I didn't know the concept until a few months ago. And just so you know, we are working with Lake Cloud Canada, which is my company, and Cloud Underground. We are looking for people who wants to join our team to deploy blockchain networks, to deploy smart contracts, which are basically applications, to work in cybersecurity, to work with DevSecOps, to work with cloud native technologies, microservices, and much, much more. This video today is in regards to, this is video number 5 for blockchain and Hyperledger, which is basically a framework for deploying centralized blockchain technologies or permissioned blockchain technologies. It means that not everyone can deploy a smart contract on my network. Why? Because we own it. Could be one owner, could be a few. There is also membership service providers, which should decide who actually assign roles. It could be a role for deploying peers, nodes, companies, entities, and to see in what ledger and what layer, because you can have a few different ledgers or accounting books in the same blockchain, on the same blockchain. So it can get complex, but the reality is that now centralized blockchains will be a thing. It will be a thing on the future. It will be something that a lot of companies will be deploying. Why? Because it saves money. It saves money. It's secure. It's simple in regards to having a database administrator, a network guy, endpoint security, a platform engineer, SR engineer. So in the end, it simplifies a lot of things when it comes to information and technology infrastructure. So let's keep going with this. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Okay, feel free to visit Lake Cloud Canada. Let's go here, lakecloud.ca. I'm working on one amazing project where I'm gonna be deploying a blockchain for Canadians to help with regulations, to help with adoption, and much more. Feel free to check it out here. You also have a lot of documentation where you can read documents about engineering and what's happening with tokenization and much more. We also have a subscribe list here. So you can subscribe here and you will have access to some documents that only people in our dojo can get access to. Okay, this is for you to upgrade your skills. If you're looking to upgrade your skill or start a new career, come and talk to me. I'll do one-on-one with you. We also provide services, right? We do blockchain, smart contracts, we do front end, platform engineering, we help you with cloud native technology, cybersecurity, we do trainings, we do a lot of stuff. Front end, we got a team. I'll show you our Discord dojo over here, where we always have conversations on the go. You can see here, it's always active day and night. It's 7:30, it was yesterday, and this is today 1. Okay, so now we have a few topics in here. We talk about AI. We have something here, artificial intelligence. There's always people posting cool stuff in here, projects that we are actually playing with. And our main goal is to have a marketplace of application hosted by us, managed by us, and also the application has developed by ourselves, and also our community. All right, so let's keep going. What I would love to talk about. Okay, let's give me a second. So what do we have today here? Let's talk about Chaincode. Okay, so everyone knows smart contracts, smart contracts everywhere. Okay, so a smart contract in the Hyperledger fabric is equal to Chaincode. So in Hyperledger framework for permissioned blockchain, we call it Chaincode. On the decentralized blockchains, we call it smart contracts. So smart contracts equals applications, smart contracts equals Chaincode in Hyperledger. Really simple. Okay. In the Hyperledger fabric, you can develop using Go or Golang or Java, Node, JavaScript, TypeScript, right? In Ethereum, you can only use Solidity. It's our new programming language. It's a mix of, I believe it's JavaScript and maybe Python or Node.js. I can't remember. So in Solana, on the Solana network, which is another blockchain, another ecosystem, they use Rust, R-U-S-T. And so every blockchain use different programming language. But now, since Solidity and Ethereum have a virtual machine called the EVM. So this machine that does the processing, the compiling, all that stuff, then you can actually, they made a code where this EVM now is compatible with many other blockchains, Solana, Celestia, and many others, right? So it means that now you can use Solidity code on the Solana network and other blockchain networks, right? So this is so cool. Now modularity and basically interpret. Yeah, you have interoperability in there. Like you can actually mesh, you can mix, you can compile different programming language into other blockchains. Because now Celestia, for example, they have modularity for CK, modularity for the blockchain, modularity for this. Now you can combine. They're trying to make everything compatible with each other. Yeah, I like that. So remember, smart contracts is in decentralized. That's the how do they call it? Centralized. They call it Chaincode. Okay. So for you to interact with the blockchain, the only way you can interact with the blockchain and basically submit transactions and modify the word state or the transaction load, which are components of the ledger or the DLT, is through smart contracts or Chaincode. And that's what it is. It's basically it says in here. Let's read in here. Hyperledger Fabric uses the term Chaincode to refer to what most blockchains call a smart contract. Chaincode is simply a computer program written in a programming language such as Golang, Node.js, or Java, which implements a predefined interface. Such programs are compiled, deployed across the network, and executed inside a Docker container, which is completely isolated from the ordering service or the peer processes. This is why you come into me or to my community, you're gonna learn microservices. Why? Because Docker containers is basically microservices. So this is why we are combining microservices or cloud native technologies with blockchain technologies. And it's not just applied for blockchain technologies. It's applied for pretty much every infrastructure out there, open source, right? Microservices used everywhere. Of course, that there is modified versions that VMware have there. They modify Kubernetes and modify this and that, custom packages sometimes. So it means that Docker containers are microservices. That's why this is the right place for you to be, because microservices are not just applied to blockchain. They're applied to anything you're developing, any infrastructure out there. Who is not using microservices today? Well, I know some companies, especially government entities. Government entities in Canada, I'm not going to say name, I'm not going to say who or why or how, but they are so far behind, my friends. So if they are behind on microservices, do you think that they are behind on blockchain technologies? Of course, for sure. There are, but Canada is so behind when it comes to DLTs or blockchains or smart contracts. They have no idea where they are going when it comes to government entities. So behind. There is a consortium for blockchain technologies in Canada, but I only see this. I only see that. I don't understand it. And I try to join a few communities in Canada, especially in the capital. And let me tell you, every time that I go there, I come back disappointed. And I don't go there anymore. Why? Because what I find is DeFi people of decentralized finance. Not even that, because when you talk about DeFi, could be many things, many topics. So let me explain you this real quick in here, okay? So Web3 technologies, which is basically blockchain technologies, there is main areas. There is the meme community, meme coins, right? Meme coins that have no use cases. So people just create smart contract for a coin, cryptocurrency. There is also the DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. That's another section. There is a DeFi section. There is many sections, okay? But let me tell you something. In this area where I live, I feel completely alone. Why? Because people don't know anything else than Bitcoin. Bitcoin. And every time that I ask them, what is it that you do? They tell me, oh, I'm a Bitcoiner. A Bitcoiner? Okay, that's it? Bitcoin. Bitcoin, that's it, nothing else. Well, I'm sorry for you, my friend. Bitcoin, yeah, it goes up and down. You're waiting, stressing yourself, only Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Good luck. Myself, I'm developing technologies and learning blockchain technologies and learning smart contracts and learning how these work. And I can talk about many topics on the Web3 space. And that's what you can get with me. Let's talk about the meme coins. Let's talk about cryptocurrency. Let's talk about DeFi. Let's talk about DAOs. Let's talk about blockchain. Let's talk about smart contracts. Let's talk about anything you can think of. CK, knowledge, proof, right? Let's talk about privacy, which is CK, right? Let's talk about rollups, right? Let's talk about transaction fees. Let's talk about politics, because whatever, whether you believe it or not, this is how I see it. Okay, blockchain, AI, they're gonna go by hand like this, hand by hand, and these two defines the future of society. That's how I see it. I don't know you, but as you know, one of the main topics of the US election is actually about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. They say Bitcoin all the time, just like everyone else. So, you know what? AI, blockchain, and politics, they go hand by hand. It's incredible how things are mixed, are well put together. And it's now how technology reshape the way we communicate, the way the way we understand each other, the way how politics get involved so much on it. Why? Because these blockchain technologies, the decentralized ones, where people have a computer at home or a container, and these computers are talking to each other with no centralized server, no centralized identity controlling stuff, they can't stop that. They cannot shut down the blockchain. Why? Because they didn't make it. They cannot hack the blockchain. They cannot put it down, because if one node, one computer does not reply me, another one which have an exact copy of the transaction and the state of the accounting book or the ledger, someone will reply, say, I have this, I can reply to you, right? So the only way for you not to have access to those ecosystems is if the government shuts down the power. But if you have a generator and you have a satellite system, you can still communicate with the blockchain. Someone will reply you. And if someone cuts the internet, let's say they cut your fiber at home, or they plug your satellite system antenna, and you got no power, then you're in trouble. You got nothing to communicate. But the blockchain is unstoppable. Unstoppable. And every day there is a new one, and there is a new ecosystem. And they come with a new encryption methods. They come with a new consensus mechanism. They come with new ideas. Okay, this blockchain, I'm gonna dedicate this blockchain to finance. Another company is like, I'm gonna dedicate this blockchain to gaming. I'm gonna dedicate this blockchain to, I don't know, to pets, to anything you can think of. So, and then on the blockchain, you throw some chain code in there, or smart contracts, to do whatever you want. But on centralized Hyperledger, which is centralized permissioned, you cannot do that. You have to ask for permission to a membership service provider who will dictate how many nodes does he want for you to validate transaction, endorse, or commit transactions. He's going to validate many aspects of, can you recall or basically invoke a chain code or a smart contract to do a transaction by person, by company, by entity, by computers, by peer, by nodes. So this is the power of centralized blockchain. That's why what everyone is focusing on, centralized and decentralized blockchain, we are focusing on centralized, because anyone can do centralized. Anyone can do it. Or you go to programmers in India, Singapore, Philippines. Everyone is just about decentralized. Well, I know how to unlock this technology in Canada, and it is by basically developing and showcasing our work. So if you feel like you can fit in my team, if you feel like you can fit in our community, if you feel like you can bring value to us, to me, to my people, come on board. I need you. Okay? So how do you interact with the blockchain of the ledger? Through smart contracts. What is smart contracts? Chaincode. What is Chaincode? Smart contracts. How technology relates to politics? Yes, AI, blockchain, politics, society. Everything is happening all at once. They say that AI in 5 years is going to be smarter than you and me and the entire humanity in 5 years. So you only have like 5 years to make it, or you make it now, 1 or 2 years, 3 years, whatever goals you have, make it now, or maybe it's gonna get harder. Maybe people will be fighting for jobs because now Elon Musk is gonna be making 1 billion robots per year, 1 billion, while he's making 100 million cars a year, right? So now imagine in the next few years having millions, billion. Well, let's say 3 years. That will be 3 billion robots. 3 billion robots. Now you got blockchain with disrupt technology badly. It's gonna take many other positions. I don't need a database administrator. The ledger does everything on his own, right? Oh, I don't need the endpoint security. Why? Oh, yeah. You can put an antivirus on that node, but the encryption is what does most of the job, right? And then that's is already breaking jobs. And now you add AI. AI does everything. Pam, 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 boom, done. So now it's time for you to think, what is it that you're having? Because I only see people with no jobs. I see people protesting. I see people not learning. I see people not trying their best. Where did you want to fit? Did you want to be on the good side, or did you want to be on the bad side? It's not on the bad side either, but I mean, sad, but we gotta be competitive, right? And also, you know what? These technologies, a lot of government entities like blockchain, they don't like it. Some of them they like it. Why? Because they bring the truth of what happens at that moment, at that time, and who can confirm that. In case of a transaction, guess who's gonna confirm that? All the computers, they all have a copy of the two components of a ledger, which is the word state and the transaction log. Right. So I hope you like this video. I hope it was informative. I hope you can follow, subscribe, and so I can keep making more videos for everybody. Either way, I'm gonna keep making them because that's me. This is my learning too. This is my passion. So, and I'm looking for people who can join me in my journey and our journey together. Take care. Bye.